Today we are cutting our entire fields. We are done with our rotational grazing for the season. By the time we're done with the last paddock, it would have been October. It will be October 1st, and that's when we lock him in the holding pen for the breeding season. So we're bush hogging everything. Let me show you guys. Basically, we're taking about 4 feet worth of grass, and we're turning it into this. Tomorrow, I'm gonna run all of this with the zero turn again. Right now, we're taking care of it. But tomorrow, I'm gonna run everything that's been cut with the zero turn to break everything, every material down a little more. Look at that. Look how thick my field was. Some of you might think I'm crazy, but honestly, no, we're not. I mean, we've kept such high residuals here that we have tremendous amounts of root system here. We have a good root system, I should say, rather say. And you know, we're just getting a clean 5-inch bush hog, and then this field will stay like this until middle of next April. And so it will not affect the root system. There's plenty of energy stored down there, and we will have plenty of grass by the time we come back again. But look at that. Look at how the grass is collected. Yep. I know. I do want to see my field, but you know what? We're not going to use it until next year, and I just didn't want to see all kinds of dry stuff in the fields. I'd rather just mow it, get a more uniform growth next season. We'll be okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you now why we cut all of our grass. We got the girls here in some new paddocks, and I'll explain to you where this paddocks came from, okay? Okay, so why did we cut our fields down? We had, you know, an average of 3 to 4 feet worth of grass, except some of the Johnsons was like up to 6 feet. It's because we got our hands in an extra, I don't know, 10 to 12 paddocks. We won't know for sure till we finish this whole property. My next door neighbor, they're a little older. They don't want to mow their property anymore. So he gave me free access to his property as long as I wanted, and I wanted to pay him, but he said, you know, the fact that you're gonna take care and manage that for me, that's payment enough. So we have the girls here, and I quickly want to show you not only obviously this wonderful property that's full of trees, but I'm gonna show you a new system we're gonna implement starting next season, and I want to make sure that at least I can start testing it with the amount of animals we have here, which is not much, it's about 14. So I just want to implement that new system, and I'll show you guys. Come on in, and I'll show you the other paddock. So from this paddock here, they're gonna move to this paddock. This is also 55 and some change hundred square feet. This was 4,800 square feet. We left them here for 3 days. The new system we're going to implement is when they move to this paddock, instead of giving them full access to it, we're going to put a net right down the middle and turn this 3-day paddocks into 4-day paddocks by offering them each half for 2 days. We figured that if we do that, we can turn a paddock into from 3 to 4, and that way not only do you increase the amount of food that you'll have available for your animals, but you're also increasing an extra day of rest for the paddocks you leave behind. So for example, say you have 20 paddocks and you split them in half, you can do the math. Ourselves here, without this property, we have 30 paddocks, right? So if they're spending 4 days per paddock because we're splitting them in two, then that means that a paddock is going to have, a half a paddock is going to have 120 days worth of rest. And that's even before we put them in the holding pen for about 10 to 15 days where we do health checks and hoof trims. So come on in here, I'll show you. We'll be splitting this here down the middle. This is the middle here. There's about 2 feet, 2.5 in some spot worth of grass here. So 15 sheep will manage this for the next 2 days comfortably. And then we move into this half of the paddock, another 2 days comfortably. And you can't see it from here, but down there, we already have another paddock put together. And the reason we just went ahead and built 3 paddocks is because tonight I'm leaving to California. I don't want my boys trying to figure out paddocks. So we just pre-build them. And that way all they have to do is move them from paddock to paddock. So yeah, that's, you know, we got ourselves some more land here. And I think we're just gonna do for my neighbor's property the same thing we've done for ours, which is turn compacted land into a very productive land. So we'll see what happens out of that. Oh yes, guys, that's the reason we mowed our fields. We had so much grass production this time around that I'm actually thinking on making this a true multi-species rotational grazing system here. And just as a method of testing, I'm planning on bringing 2 Dexter cattle in next season to rotate with the sheep. And after the sheep leave a paddock, we're going to bring in the egg layers so they can stay on each paddock that the sheep leave behind for 3 days to do their things, you know, break down the manure, eat a little bit of bugs and stuff. They're really not a big help when it comes to parasite, but they do a little bit, and every little bit against the parasite works, okay, works. And there's something else I'm working on, and I'm going to keep it a secret from now until I have it for sure. And when that happens, I will reveal that to you guys. But I know a lot of you have been contacting me, whether it's from the Facebook group. Unfortunately, I didn't produce enough sheep, and I've had to turn a lot of you down. So yeah, we're gonna continue to get better here, and hopefully produce what you guys want. And when you guys send messages, at least try to say more yes than no, right? So that's it for now. Just wanted to show you guys real quick what's going on. And look at my fields behind me. We left about 5 inches. We left 5 inches plus all that broken down material there. And we won't have animals on our fields until the middle of next April, which 5-6 months worth of rest is good enough for our fields. Rest is the key. And you might say, well, Ranger, if you had that much grass, why didn't you just wait till you finish with your neighbor's property and then put them in your property? Well, because I want rest for my field. By the time we're done with my neighbor's property, we'll be into the first week of October. And that's when my breeding season starts. And typically what I do, I put them in my holding pen and I let the ram loose on them. So we feed hay at that point. And it's not even, I don't want nothing, no hooves, no manure, no urine, nothing being touched, being dropped in the main fields for a very long time. We want extremely long rest. And you guys will see, if you stick with us next season, you will see the result of what we're doing here. Remember, less than 2 years ago, this was a compacted, semi-patchy fields. Used to be a horse farm. And you've seen what we've done here. And I'm not the best, but I'm doing what I think is best for my field. And if you stick with me, you'll be able to be a part of that as well. God bless every single one of you. Bye.